Well, hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Some of y'all may be on your lunch break. Some of y'all may be getting off work. And some of y'all maybe just have 45 minutes left on the clock. And I thought I would come on here and entertain you guys. Please like the video. Thank you, Darlene. I really do appreciate that. Please like the video. Now, I will say this. I don't know why, but the chat box is already moving very slow. Now, let me get into my intro and then I'm going to come back because I already see the chat box is moving. It's giving slow. It's very slow. Let me see if I can fix it on my end. Make sure my connections, everything's good on my end.
Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay, so I decided to go ahead and address this. So I know you guys wanted me to sit down with, I believe his name is Austin, and do like a video with him. But, these men always talking about Black women are not feminine. Well, feminine tip number one is feminine women do not subject themselves to hostile environments or hostile people. And I get that vibe from him. So I just don't. And then number two, a feminine woman is also intelligent, okay? And if I feel like having a conversation with you is a waste of time, we're going to sit down, have the conversation, and still be at square one. I don't see the point of having the conversation. I don't see no purpose in it. So when I said I didn't care, that is exactly what I meant. I said what I said, and I just plan to move on with my life. I don't know about y'all. So I don't, the red flag for me, and I'm just being honest with y'all, the red flag for me was him using, the B word, that include. And then another red flag was when I went to go watch his reaction to my video, he was giving very hostile, very triggered, very emotional. And it was giving red flag, so I don't subject myself to just anybody. I don't subject myself to any type of energy. I protect my energy. And I have learned that people drain it, especially people like him. So he stay on his side of YouTube. I'm going to stay on my side of YouTube. And we just don't have to speak. You know what I mean? So that's what I plan on doing. I don't know about y'all. That's what I plan on doing. So I just don't feel like it's going to go anywhere. And I don't like that. I like having meaningful, deep conversations. That's what I like. And if I feel like we're not going to have that, I just don't see the point. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Thank y'all for the compliments. Y'all so sweet. I said that because I have cleared out my energy and people know not to try me, because I had to make that known here within the last few months. I can step back into my light femininity and I can continue on my feminine healing journey. Sometimes you got to remove people out of your life because they just be doing dumb stuff and think that because you're a nice feminine woman that they can screw you over or step all over you or treat you any type of way or be disrespectful. So sometimes as a woman through womanhood, you have to step into your dark femininity, check some people. Okay, so then they know not to play with you, and then you can step back in to your light and be that loving, caring, feminine, soft life type of woman. You know what I mean? But don't try me though. People be trying to try you and stuff, and I just don't understand. Just because you nice and you smile more than you give resting bitch face, and they think they could just walk all over you. It's like, listen, I may be feminine, but I'm not a doormat. And when I say this, I'm not even talking about men. I had to check some women, family, and men lately. And it's just like, why is everybody making it seem like they can play with me? So I apologize if I've been coming on here not in the best of mood, but people been trying me. I'm just like, listen, first of all, I'm going to tell you nothing. That's another thing. People want to be in your business just to be in it. I don't tell people my business, not even my mama, because it ain't her business. So it's weird when like people feel entitled to like your life. I think that is so weird. And I'm telling you, you guys, the more private you are, the less drama you will encounter, the less drama you will be involved in. Privacy means no drama. It's not about being secretive. When you have too many people in your business, in your space, knowing this, knowing that, they can easily kick up drama and create drama. That's why there's a girl running around town right now trying to kick up drama, but all she can do is lie because she doesn't know my personal business. And this is why I don't tell women, especially women, my personal business. I don't even tell my own mama. So if you out here talking about me, you can only gossip. Because you can't even go to my mama and know my business. No, you can't. You can't even go to my best friend and really know the ins and out of my business. I tell her what she needs to know. And then there's just a lot of stuff that I just keep to myself. When you have too many people in your business, that's how drama starts. That's how all type of, and then if you got people jealous of you and stuff like that, they try to sabotage you. I don't tell nobody my business. So if you think you know something about me, check your source. I don't tell my own I promise you, I don't tell my own mama nothing. I don't. Not unless she need to know. I don't do that. When you got too many people knowing your business, that is easily how drama is kicked up. So I just don't do that. I don't know who need to hear that. Okay, I learned that the hard way, but I learned it. I got that lesson. I'm like, oh, it's no drama when you keep your mouth shut. No drama when you don't overshare. No drama when you post less on social media. Why didn't somebody tell me this sooner? Peaceful. It's peaceful. You hear it? You hear it right now? It's like during the day. Do you hear anything? That's peace. That's what it is. And you know what? We're going to keep it like this. That's why I can't go react to Austin's. I can't sit down and do an interview with him because I'm not about to sit in my house and be upset. Because it don't seem like he know how to talk to women. And then wonder why he has such a hard time. I'm gonna tell you, get rid of that B word. That need to come out of your vocabulary. You want a woman of quality. A woman of quality, she don't react well to that word. Not even in the bedroom. Sorry. Okay, let's start this video. Somebody said, "Peace be still." No, for real. Okay, let me double check my audio here. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Steven Speaks. Now, I've seen his videos pop up in my timeline. I have not watched one. This will be my first time watching his videos. He has been going viral as of lately, and I've been liking some of the things that he has said. Now, do I know anything about this man outside of YouTube? No. So if he has done anything, I don't know about it. So if you think I know, I don't. All I know is what he does on YouTube. I know he's like an author. He gives relationship advice and things like that to women. Like I said in my Instagram live yesterday, take the things that you hear on social media with a grain of salt, because people be trying to make it seem like social media and the things that are said on here, it 100% applies to real life and it applies to everyone. It's impossible. We're individuals. Okay. Let's start. So I'm going to dive right into this. I honestly just want to make it known that men can have sex with you and not like you, not respect you, not want a future with you. They can also impregnate you too, sis. And this is why I'm very picky and selective about who I give my body and my time to, because not every man out here really deserves that. I know my value, but a lot of these men, they don't tend, especially today, they don't tend to know your value until after you leave. This is why men label me the heartbreaker, because I don't stay. Mm-mm. And a lot of these men have this mentality that you're not going nowhere. And I'm the type to move. I'm the type to leave. And I'm the type to never come back. So they label me the heartbreaker. And I'm not even doing nothing. I'm not playing games. I'm not putting you in competition. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just not tolerating BS. So because of that, I'm a heartbreaker. That is what they have labeled me. I have a reputation. Just found out, y'all, did not know. So because of this, a lot of these men do things and they don't really realize by doing this thing that it could jeopardize or ruin any future relationship that you can have with them. This is why you should just be honest with me. And I'll respect you. I may not always agree, but if it's honesty, I can only respect that. So I personally already knew this. My brother, before I went off to college freshman year, my oldest brother, he pulled me to the side and he told me the game and he prepared me for men in sex. Now, my dad, he did it to me when I was 8 because I was developing fast. And so he had to grab me and have that conversation with me when I was 8. So I've been peeping game since 8 years old that, you know, when you're growing up thick, you'll hear it a lot, but you'll hear it in a way that's actually very depressing, because the way my dad had the conversation with me, he said men are only going to want to have sex with you. He didn't even say you have a nice body, you have a nice shape, a lot of men are going to just want to have sex with you. No, that's not how my dad had the conversation with me. He had the conversation with me by saying a lot of men are no, he just said men are going to want to only have sex with you. And then when you're 8 and grown men are trying to holla and they're doing things that make you feel uncomfortable and you know it's wrong, but because you're young, you don't understand, right? It actually made sense. Like, dang, maybe my daddy was right. These men only want to have sex with me because that's the only type of attention that I was getting hyper aggressively at such a young age. So this conversation is just not new to me, but it's worse now. I'm like, these men will impregnate you. They'll have raw sex with you. They'll do a bunch of stuff. Okay, we 14 minutes in. Okay, I can start, y'all. The reason why I had to wait until we almost get to the 15-minute mark, and I hate, is because of YouTube. They gonna demonetize this, and then I'm gonna have to put it on Patreon. I'm trying to keep it up, so I gotta reel y'all in. So if I would have said sex too soon, like sex earlier on in this video, they would have flagged it. So if you watching this and you like, get to it, I'm like, listen, YouTube is strict. Okay, now we can get to it. That is a shame. Okay, let's start the video.
how do men see sex? What is sex to men? Because I say this all the time. Like, I have been blessed to have an older brother, the homeboys. I've had these conversations with several men. A lot of women have not had this conversation with a man or heard a man having this conversation. So from a man, how do men view sex?
All right, now real quick, I'm just gonna say that there's always exceptions to the rule.
Go ahead. Go ahead, throw out the disclaimer.
And some men are gonna see things differently. I think for the majority of men, sex is just viewed as a pleasurable experience. That's it, a pleasurable physical experience. There may be some emotion a little bit in that moment, but it stays in that moment for the most part. It's just not much more than that for the guy. You know, now don't get me wrong.
Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all know I'm a late bloomer. I lost my virginity way later than most people. And every sexual encounter and engagement I have had, I did it just like this. I went into it with no expectations. I went into it with standards, but no expectations. I went into it with limited emotions. I was definitely emotional in the moment because that's what good sex is. I'm just being honest. But as soon as it was over with, that's it. I had no expectations outside of this moment. Now, there are cons to this, though, that a lot of women are not being honest about. And this is just based off of my experience. I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like a lot of women are not being honest about not having expectations, how that can also hurt you. Now, it benefits you from an emotional stance, but it doesn't in some cases as well, because there's always a catch. There's always like this double-edged sword, right? And so it's like, okay, you may have gotten some bomb sex and you did not get attached. You did not get emotional. You had a good time, right? But this man running around, and because you guys carried such you shared such a casual experience, he running around and he don't care about your body. He don't care about you getting BV. He don't care about you getting any type of STIs that maybe don't affect him as a man and his body chemistry and things like that. So I had to learn this the hard way. There are a lot of women that are out here having casual sex and they're dealing with the negatives in private, but they brag about the positives in public. And I'm just being honest, like, a lot of these men can be carriers of a lot of things, and it affects our body in a negative way. And so this is why I started looking at casual sex differently. It wasn't because of religion. It wasn't because of wanting marriage or having like these just standards that are more conventional and like traditional. It was really because of biology and the woman's body chemistry and how some of these men move and how it affects my sexual health in a negative way. And I don't feel like women today are being 100% honest with it. Like, yeah, in the moment, you know, having casual sex, being detached, moving similar to what he mentioned, but then like there's this other side that women are not truly being honest about. And y'all know how I am. I'm gonna be honest. I am going to be honest, because BV, it's not fun. It's not fun going to the doctors and you got to get just so much, like your body has to go through like a week's downtime, sometimes a month's downtime, just because this man was running around and he didn't even just tell you. But you can't even really be mad because you put yourself in that position. You signed up for casual sex. You signed up for no strings attached. You signed up for a sneaky link, friends with benefits. And so when you do that, these men run around doing them and being carriers of things unknowingly, because it don't affect them, but it affects you. I think women need to be more real about that. So now I'm not rushing to have sex. I'm just not doing it. I'm sorry. It don't got nothing to do with religion. Because I like me a good sexual encounter. Don't get it wrong. I do. Okay. Now, this face, it may look innocent and everything like that, but I like a good sexual encounter. But like, what you carrying though that you don't know about? Because these men, they don't even have a primary care physician. I do, but do they? Like, do you have health care? I ask men now. I am so straight up about it. I'm like, do you have health care? Who's your doctor? Let me look them up. When's the last time you had a doctor's appointment? And I'm saying doctors. We ain't even got to like, when's the last time you got tested? It ain't worth it, y'all. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't feel like women gotta wait till marriage, but I think you do need to be picky though. And that's just biology. That's biology. At least get his, does he have a doctor? Does he have a primary care physician? Like, these are basic questions that you should ask yourself. You should be picky before you engage, especially with monkeypox on the loose. I mean, I think as women today, with everything that's going on in the world, this bare minimum requirements that you should have. You should be this picky, sis, in today's age. Yeah, you should.
And when I say there's emotion involved, I think when he actually likes the woman, he's in love with her, then it becomes something more than just a physical experience, a chance to bond with her, get closer to her. But outside of that, yeah, it's just physical pleasure.
Do men have sex with women they don't like?
Hell yeah.
Look into that camera. Look into that camera and say,
yeah.
Why? Why, Stefan?
Oh my
why?
God. But not only do men, now again, not all men, but not only do men have sex with women they don't like, there are tons of men who have sex with women they're not even attracted to.
So again, this is the men are from Mars, women are from Venus thing, because speaking for the majority of women, I can't even fathom a man on top of me that I don't like, I'm not interested in, I'm not attracted to. Like that, why would I do that? You all are totally...
Well, so...
Their heads are exploding right now, Stefan.
Homegirl ain't lying about... She not lying about that. I wish a man would be toppling me, and I'm not attracted to him. But listen, a lot of these men don't understand. They stereotype me based off of how I look. And it pains me so much, but they really be missing out, because I'm the type of person, my attraction to you is not just physical. It's actually more intellectual. I need to be mentally and intellectually stimulated. So when you got this stimulated, then I'm way more attracted to you than just first glance. A lot of these men, they stereotype me to think that a six-pack is, oh, he's so attractive. Oh, like the guy that I did a video on. I went to his comment section and men were like, oh, she finds you so desirable. I'm like, I really don't, because I don't like your mind. Like, I don't like what's up here. It's not intellectually stimulating. It seems very traumatized. Like, your mindset seems traumatized because you've been through some things. We all have, but like, are you working on it? You know what I mean? And so I didn't find him physically desirable, and that's just my honest to God opinion. Even when people ask me, well, who's your celebrity crush? I'm like, I really don't have one, because I'm like, I really need to watch an interview or something like that and get more about like how they think. But if I'm not being mentally stimulated, that's not it. I will not find you. And then this is another thing. Is you could be like halfway physically attractive to me, and then you stimulate my mind. You go from like a 5 to like a 9 or a 10. I'm that type of person. And then this kind of burns me sometimes too. Intellect is so sexy, y'all. It's over. And then I'm a witty person too. And if you can keep up with me and we can keep up with each other, oh my God, we're gonna have a good time. And I'm gonna be so into you because we have that connection. So I don't know. I just really, really like that. I'm really, really attracted to that. But I mean, my type, if I have one, I need a man. I don't like the men that be shaving they chest hair. Keep the chest hair, okay? I like chest hair. I need meat on the bones. I'm not saying sloppy, but I need a man. When I think of a man, I think of the men that come from caves and they hunt and they was out here doing manly things. These men today, they be shaving their hair on their chest, they be shaving their hair on their stomach, they be waxing their legs, they be waxing under their arm. I'm like, what happened to men? What happened to the men with the meat on the bones and the hair on the chest? Like, that's what if that's all I'm looking for. And then, you can mentally stimulate my mind. We good. I want a grown man. That little boy stuff, like, or Omarion, he was cute when I was like, he was sexy to me when I was like in middle school or high school. But not today. I'm like, you waxed your hair on your chest. Why would you do that? I want a man, y'all. I need his hands to look like he can use them. Like he can build some stuff or put some things together or something. I'm like, that's, like, or the Omarion type, the pretty boy type. That was cute when you was like in middle school and high school. You didn't know no better. But I'm like, I need a man that looked like he changed oil in your car and he checked your tires. I'm just saying. I can't do it. I'm like, what I liked when I was younger, that is not what I like. And it's crazy. My mom be like, oh, she like loves the hair on my dad's on his chest. But it's like it give you that manly vibe. I do not want to feel like I'm laying up with my teenage crush. Let me stop.
So listen, so now again, I'm one of those guys where I cannot sleep with someone I'm not attracted to. I'm very visual. I need that stimulation.
Thank
if that's
God,
not there,
standards. Okay.
I can't do it. But I know dudes
that have none.
As long as you got legs and something in between, it's a wrap. Okay. And they will have sex out of the mere convenience
just
of it in that moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because again, it is simply a pleasurable physical experience. They're viewing that woman as a chance to get off. That's it. That's all it is. And so, yeah. And as far as not liking her, because the reality is that he only has to tolerate her for that moment in time. This is why he may have sex with you, but he won't be in a relationship with you.
He won't even pick up the phone the next day, baby.
He can't deal with you more than just that moment. But to engage physically, and again, in that physical moment, he doesn't have to worry about having talks with you and all this other stuff. So yeah, he can still enjoy you physically, but not care for you otherwise.
So we're going to pause. It's a moment of silence for y'all feelings and your edges. Okay.
Oh, boy.
But like, we already knew this, though. We already knew that. Who didn't know that already? I need the young girls. I need y'all to come to the front. Come to the front. My dad, he told me at 8. So I'm going to tell you right now, just because you share a sexual, intimate moment with a man in this hypersexual culture does not mean he in love with you. It don't mean he want to be with you. It don't mean he like you. It don't mean he care about you. It don't mean he gonna text you back. It don't mean he gonna get you an Uber after he Ubered you to his place. It may mean that you got to Uber home, sis, yourself. It may mean that he won't speak to you again. He won't want to see you again. He won't want anything to do with you. You can even fall pregnant. He'll still try to dismiss you, coach you into having an abortion if they still allow it in the upcoming years. But like, he will make it very evidently clear that he don't want to be with you. And you know what? You know what I'm going to tell you when this happens, and to any woman that's ever experienced this, you should not take it personal. You should not take it personal, because I have learned with men, sometimes they have like this tunnel vision. And when they see you, like, you could be the total package. You could be the wifey type. You could be the girl that if he was in his right mind and he wasn't just on this tunnel vision thing, he would marry you. But when men first meet you, a lot of them, especially when it comes to their intentions. Like if they're in a space in their life where they're not ready to settle down, they don't have their finances together, they're really in this sexual tunnel vision where they don't see nothing outside of what's going to please them and what's going to bring them pleasure. And so like they have this tunnel vision where all they see is your boobs, your ass, and your vagina. Maybe your legs too. That's all they see. Like they don't see anything else because they only want that one thing. That's it. That is it. And you could be this amazing woman. You could be a bomb woman. And he will pass you up because he didn't even see you for real. Because he just wanted sex. He didn't see your value. He didn't see your worth. And so he just was in this tunnel that was being charged up and amped up with his, his penis. And he missed out on all the other stuff that you're so worthy of and valuable of, because he just had this, he's in his sexual tunnel vision. He only see your boobs, he only see your ass, and he only see your vagina. And that's it. That is it. So it's sad, but it's true. It's true, and it happens every day. And this is why a lot of girls get ghosted nowadays. A lot of girls feel like they get used or taken advantage of and things like that. It would be nice, though, if men were just more upfront and honest about their true intentions. It would be nice, but a lot of them, they want their cake, and then they want to be able to sample yours, sample hers, sample hers, and sample hers, and sample hers. And so they can't, a lot of times men feel like they can't just be upfront and honest with you because then they can't sample you. Because, girl, I know they wouldn't be able to sample me. Oh, no. As soon as you tell me what your intentions are and it's on BS, sure, you missed out on your sample. And I'm not even a sample. I'm a full course meal. That's why you can't sample me anyway. So that's crazy. I'm like a home cooked meal. I'm like the mom and dad restaurant. You can't just, you can't get me anywhere. And you can't sample me. You either buying the full entree or you not. And then you at a mom and dad restaurant, you got to tip. Got to support locals and local businesses and things like that. So I'm just not that type of girl. So a lot of these men, okay, they will not make their intentions known. They won't. And they'll toy with you and play with you, play these mind games, mind tricks, manipulate you into believing they want something more with you when they really don't, or they secretly don't. And then they get to sample you while sampling others, sometimes behind your back, and it's unknowingly. And sometimes you know about it because your intuition is telling you, but you're dismissing it because you don't want to face the reality of his intentions or the relationship that you have with this man. Happens every day. So I'm going to tell you, to the younger women that's out here, I'm not going to tell, I'm not your mama. I'm not going to tell you what you should do with your body. I'm going to tell you to be smart. I'm going to tell you that if you choose to engage in a sexual experience, right? You leave your feelings, you leave your heart outside in your car. Don't even walk inside with it. You leave your feelings and your heart in your car. You go inside, you have an experience. You don't cuddle. You don't pillow talk. You go home. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. And if you don't do it like that, you in a danger zone. Oh, you in a danger zone, girl. You got to get out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. And if that means you got to Uber home, I guess that's what you got to do, hun. This is what it means to be a grown woman. Living your life, doing what you want to do with it, right? Oh, but there are still danger zones. And danger zone number one is going to be laying up with that man after that experience, pillow talking and cuddling. You got to leave, sis. You got to go. It's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. I don't know what you still laying there for. You better get up out of there. The longer you stay, the worse it gets. And listen, I'm also taking a step further because I feel like this is not being taught. Seasons. You have experiences within seasons. And what do I mean by that? Seasons last like what, girl? A few months. Fall lasts a few months. Winter is probably the longest season that we have. But summer, what? Summer's what, a good 3 months? Some of y'all be having these experiences with one man just way too long for me. We do seasons. Seasons. And then after that season is over with, it's time to move on. Too many women be staying. And then they get their heart broken or they get their feelings involved. So you stay a season, you had fun, you didn't get pregnant, you protected your body by getting tested, protecting your sexual health, and you did not stay long. This is why I don't do it, because it's too much work. It's too much work for me, sis. This is a lot. And then it's not being taught to women on how to deal with this type of stuff when men are like this. So, yeah, it's crazy. Guys will pimp you out, sell you a dream to get that good, then block you two days later. Yep. We talk about the pimp on here. A lot of women think that just because you're not standing on the street corner, this man ain't pimping you out. I'm gonna have to do a separate video on that one. But yeah, Jeffrey ain't lying. He ain't lying to y'all about that one. I'm sorry, he's not lying about that.
But I think though that again, that's a major disconnect because women a lot of times mistake men wanting to sleep with them with men wanting to date them or court them or be in a relationship. And so I hear, shout out to Kevin Samuels. All right. Kevin said one of the things that Kevin Samuels says often that I do agree with though, is that you cannot count the number of men who have tried to holler at you or try to have sex with you as the number of men who are interested in getting into a relationship with you. And so I think a lot of times women are mistaking one for the other and thinking, well, men are interested in me. I am a catch. Mm-hmm. And just because men are interested in sleeping with you does not mean that you are necessarily what men are looking for when it comes to a relationship.
Or marriage.
So what's the difference? What would make a man say, okay, I'll have sex with you, but that's as far as it'll go?
So, okay, there's various levels to it. For some men, it could be levels of physical attraction. So to put it in a more specific context so people can understand, if his standard for marriage is, I'm only going to marry a woman who's an 8 to 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, but he'll sleep with a 6. He'll sleep with a 5. You see what I'm saying? So there's enough, and maybe she's not that cute, but her body's banging. So he'll sleep with her because he really likes her body. He wants to try it out. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just,
that's a real
it is
thing.
what it is. Yeah.
We gotta come back to that. Right.
But again, he's not attracted to her enough physically to say, I want to spend my life with her. Because again, it's one thing to have to see you for the night. It's nothing to have to wake up and see you every day next to me. That requires a different level of attraction. Then, of course, there's just the qualities of a woman.
You know what I find interesting about this conversation? That was disgusting, wasn't it? I thought it was too. Very sick. Okay. The thing that I find interesting about this is that men feel that they have the right to move this way. Stay with me, though. Stay with me, right? But as soon as a woman decides to move in the same way, what are we called, ladies? What are we called? They wonder why these women are out here on some get back. And see, let me tell you something. This is why I support city girls. Oh, yeah, I sure do. I support the FNF crew. I sure do. And I love the song. I'm in the gym listening to that. Mm-hmm. It's the truth. It could be the truth all it want. It could be the truth all day. But this is why I support city girls. I support the city girls. I do. I support the girls that are on fans only. I support the girls that are out here that are sex workers. Yeah, as conservative as I am, I support them. You know what I do? I root them on. This is the only exception that I have. Married men should be off limits. I don't mess with women that deal with married men. But if you out here on some city girl stuff and you doing your thing, I'm rooting for you, sis. Like some of y'all get it confused. Like y'all think that because I have this opinion, but I also understand that men think like this. So I'm like, I'm really rooting for you. I am. I am. I'm rooting for you. Because this is like, that's some grimy stuff. Like, he really sitting up here with his chest out saying that. Like, it's okay. Like, it's cool. Like, it's cool to test out a body. Just like it's cool for a woman to use a man and test out his wallet. Oh, y'all don't like that. You call her a gold digger. That's why I don't believe in gold diggers either. I believe in women getting what they deserve. You testing out her body and you don't even like her. Well, she testing out that wallet. She don't like you. Then we wonder why we wonder why the dating scene is a hot freaking mess. This is why. And women are on some get back. They on some get back. They on some get back. That's why these men got to go overseas. But those women, they on some get back too. But I ain't going to put their game out here on the internet. That's for you to figure out. And that's for me to know. That's for you to figure out. You think those foreign women are not going to be on some city girl, FNF? They got to feed their family. See, that's a different ball game. That's totally different. That's a different ball game. Totally different. So I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not. People got to learn. They got to learn in their own way and at their own time. So let these men learn. But this is why women are on some get back. And this is why I honestly support it. As long as we're not out here dealing with married men. But if he's single and he trying to test your body out and you like, okay, well, take me on a trip. Fly me out. I'm not mad at this girl. I'm proud of her. You have some standards. You knew he was trying to test out your body and you told him to pull out his wallet. And here I am rooting you on, sis. I just don't promote that type of lifestyle because that's not the lifestyle that I truly believe in order for you to be happy or at peace. Comes with a lot of drama because you got to play a lot of games. You got to manipulate. You got to lie. You got to do a lot of scheming. And for me, that's too much work. I already work a regular job. I don't need to, that's another job that I got to take on. But I do root for the girls that do it. I do. Testing out her body. Well, she testing out your wallet. Your yacht, the jet, that 5-star hotel. I mean, she testing you out too. And this is how women, I mean, if you're going to engage in the activity.
Wives. Some women, again, may be really cool. You may even enjoy hanging out with them, but you know you cannot deal with them over the long term as far as marriage. And let me say this. The reality is that women see the same issue or go through the same thing with men. It's just that women are willing to overlook those red flags and still marry that man, but then be miserable and unhappy. The man knows, yo, like in a lot, don't get me wrong, plenty of men choose horribly wives and partners, but a lot, like I remember one time in an Uber, a guy said to me, he was the driver. He said, you know, you hear in society, women are always being told the fantasy of the one, waiting for that right guy, all that stuff. But what you see play out in dating and relationships is that men tend to hold on to that principle more than women. All right. Women know of the one connection, but the minute they see something that they want, for whatever reason, yes, I will make this work because this is what I desire right now.
Here's a thought. When we women do it, because I'm doing it right now, right, sir? I can't get a man. Y'all, a man don't want me, y'all. He don't want me. Y'all know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's no man out here that want me. So we don't even facilitate a society for women to be choosy because we got to rush to get married. People not even staying married nowadays. And I got people in my comment section talking about you shouldn't brag about, you shouldn't brag about some free food and some sex. He ain't getting sex from me. See, that's where you messed up. That's where you messed up. That's where you mess up. There are men out here that are willing to do things for you, like wine and dine you, right? And not get sex from you because they know you're not that type. They know you're not that type, but they like your company. They like your company. They love talking to you, having conversations with you because you're always in good spirit. You're supportive. You listen. You're feminine. You have great conversation. So it's not always sexual with me. So I'm able to go out here and wine and dine with men and they want me around without sex. That is a thing, y'all. That is a thing. That is a thing. You know who else likes to enjoy talking to me? My brothers. They love calling me and getting my perspective. So I've also noticed within my dating life, men love to call me just to get my perspective on life. So I'm not easily replaceable. I'm not someone that they want to easily just rush in bed to. They definitely want to have sex though. They do. Because I feel it. I see it. I be seeing them sweat. I be like, dang, he really want to have sex with me. And to the women, watch these men. Stop being so nervous. Stop being so nervous. Because when you're nervous, you can't see how nervous he is. When you're nervous, you can't see how he really sweating you. Like he really wants to have sex with you, sis. Oh my God. It is killing him. It is killing him. I know when he in his group chat with his friends, that he texting them like, y'all don't understand. I want to have sex with her so bad, but she's so cool though. I love having conversations with her. So you know what? I don't want to ruin that. So I'm going to just go at her speed. That is what they be saying. So I just, y'all, I'm telling you, if you have good conversation, you can still get free meals, free drink. You can get whatever you want, really, because they like being around. They like your company. And you funny too. They love your company. So no, you don't have to sleep with a guy just to get a date or just to get, and it's not even, it ain't even about food. It's really not about food. It's not. It's really not about food. They just, it's about enjoying quality time and companionship with another person for like a few hours. But this society has made it very transactional. Very transactional. But no, you don't have to. And this is really for the women that don't want to be city girls or whatever like that. You don't have to sleep with somebody to get what you want. You don't. You just gonna bump into more men that are in that tunnel, that sexual tunnel that I was talking about earlier. And so if you're not putting out your boobs, you're not putting out, your ASS, and you're not putting out your vagina, then they just dismiss you so fast. But like when you meet certain men and they have a conversation with you and they like your mind, they'll entertain you for dinner. And then if it goes well, they really want to get to know you on a real tip. But some men, they don't see you for who you are. Like they in that sexual tunnel and they don't see outside of that. So it doesn't matter how great of a woman you are, they don't see you for real. Sadly.
Whereas men, if they're just not feeling it enough, they're just not going to do it. And that's why I tell women, it's not a reflection of your value or your quality. Y'all two just don't fit together. He can really see or view you as a good woman, just not for him.
So this is not a question that was on my list, but I just feel like because you're hurting feelings and snatching edges, we might as well just snatch the whole wig off. Because I have literally had a conversation with a man. I hope he's not tuned in. It's not my man, y'all. A man, not my man. But I've had a conversation with a man who has going back to like the 90-day rule thing and
hold on, before she get into this 90-day rule, listen, transactions are not bad. That is correct, right? But nowadays, everything is a transaction. Everything. Like, for example, I can't even bake some brownies or some cookies for a man and post it to the internet without somebody talking about, oh, she had picked me. She had picked me. Damn, like I can't go and bake some cookies or some brownies for a man just to do something nice for him. I gotta be a pick me. I gotta want marriage from him now, or try to get a ring from him now. Like, damn, I can't just go make him some brownies, bake him some cookies just because that's something I just want to genuinely do out of the kindness of my heart. I gotta get something back in return. Everything is a transaction these days. Everything. I miss the days where people just wanted to do nice things for you just because they felt like they just wanted to do something nice for you. And they wasn't even expecting anything from it. Because you guys share that type of relationship where they do for me, I do for them. And it's not on some tit for tat. I don't even like having friendships like this. I don't even like interacting with family like this. I love taking care of people that I love, that I care about. I like seeing them smile. I like seeing them enjoy things that I do for them. I just don't like feeling like I'm being taken advantage of. And I have learned that if I give and I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, I pull back completely. I pull back. But if we're in this space, if we're in this relationship, and this could be a male, this could be a girlfriend, this could be family, whatever like that, and we doing for each other, I'm not taking a tally mark like, okay, I'm not like that. I want to actually be in the flow. If there's something that I want to do for somebody, I just want to go and do it. I don't want to feel like I gotta there's some, I have to get something back. I just don't like that. I just don't like how even in friendship, it's tit for tat. It is tit for tat. It's tit for tat. You go out with a girlfriend and you can't even just buy her lunch, and then it not be, oh, I'll buy you lunch next time. Like, no, you don't have to. Like, you really don't. Now, if you want to genuinely do it the next time around, okay. But it's not this thing that has to be said, though. It's just you being in the flow and just allowing relationships to be natural. I don't think this generation or this society that we're currently in, I don't even think they know what that looks like or what that is. So, yeah, I don't know. I have a friend, I have a girlfriend that I can do this with. And we don't keep track of who paid for dinner last time. We don't do that. We do for each other, and that's it. That is it. Because this goes beyond men. It can be your girlfriend too. You know, when y'all go out and it's a big party and everybody is like, oh, let's split it. And it's like 10 of y'all. And it's just like, why do we have to split it? We got to see who ate what. Why not just divide it and then just go? Like, no, everybody who had this and who had that. I don't like that, y'all. I'm just like, I'll just pay it for real. We can get up out of here. But this is how I get taken advantage of. I'm like, I'll just pay it. Because it just shouldn't be like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's like, can we just pay this and just go?
Men trying to fit into women thinking that they're being in control and, controlling how things are going, but men really having the big joker, like really, pulling the trump card. But I was having a conversation with a man who talked about a woman who had like a 90-day rule and she had verbalized it. Big mistake. So she talked to him about it. She's holding him to this standard. And he literally told me, like, yeah, I just did what I had to do to get to the 90 days, you know, just basically to get her back for playing games with him, playing games with him. Like, he did all of the right things, told me this out of his mouth that he did.
Y'all, where are all these men coming from? I ain't seen all these men in my chat box in a while. Listen, sir, I don't care what red pill content creator sees this. Y'all, do you know me? Oh my gosh. Like, are you new here, sir? Are you lost? Are you? Oh my gosh. First of all, men don't run me. That's number one. I don't know. I'm single, so no man is running me. Not even my father, because I'm grown and he don't even pay my bills. Number two, it's not an equal value exchange because, first of all, y'all don't even know how to give women a proper orgasm for it to truly be an equal exchange. Let's start there, sir. So if you're going to send them the video, make sure you include this part. Some of y'all stroke game, weak. And it needs some correction. Because y'all, and then y'all don't be lasting. Y'all don't be lasting. And then it's supposed to be an equal exchange, correct? It's supposed to be equally valuable, correct? When it's not. Some of y'all just selfish. You know that girl didn't have no orgasm. But because of your ego, you gonna pretend like you gave her something. You didn't. You showed up, and you know what? She never came. And maybe y'all should watch that show on Netflix where I think it's called Sex Life. Some of y'all need to, and it's very honest. And it teaches you about the woman's body. Woman, not female. It teaches you about the woman's body. Because a lot of y'all lost. And then a lot of y'all are selfish lovers. Y'all don't know nothing about foreplay. Absolutely nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about foreplay. And that's part of the reason why y'all show up and it really lags. I'm like, sir. Like, y'all, I'm really trying to keep it classy, but it's hard. Because I feel like we don't have these conversations because a lot of you men just so timid, especially when it comes to that thing down there that you got in between your legs. Oh my God, y'all, they don't. Can we just be real to the women that are in the chat box? How in your lifetime, if you have experienced sex, how many times have you orgasmed? And listen to the men that are out here. A woman can have some really bomb sex and still not orgasm. Happens every day. We suffer. We suffer too. It's not something that we like. We suffer when this happens. This is a green smoothie. It has spinach, kale, cucumbers, celery, strawberries, some yogurt, some ginger. Yeah, we suffer. And I'm tired. I'll just be like, that's why when I meet a new man, I just be like, let me see what he eat like. I got to see how he eat first, y'all. That's what my grandmama told me. She said, don't be out here just giving your body to anybody. If you want to know a man is freaky or not, you watch how he eat. And if he ain't, and if you really want to know how he eat, she used to cook. That's why women back in the day, they would cook, right? And so my grandma was like, you cook him a meal, right? You put your foot in it. This is what my grandma used to tell me. You put your foot in it, and then you see how he eat it. Now, if he ain't being all loving and passionate about his food, he not going to be all loving and passionate about you, sis. Because one thing men have made very clear is that they love their food, right? Okay, men love sex, right? If you think of a man, you think of food and you think of sex, right? Okay, so if he loves his food and he loves sex, right? Before you go off into this deep end with him, you need to see how he eat. And if he ain't licking and sucking on that bone, he ain't gonna be licking and sucking on you. That's what you used to say. So I took that with me. I've never had a bad sexual experience with this mindset. I haven't. But an orgasm is still hard to come by. You know how it is. So yeah, you know, if he ain't licking and sucking on that bone, he ain't gonna be licking and sucking on you. That's what she said. So y'all laughing. I'm so serious. He ain't gonna be licking and sucking on you. Girl, you just wasted your time. And I'm gonna tell you now. That's why you need to get in the kitchen and cook. And then this generation is like, oh, I don't cook for no man. I'm like, well, girl, you need to do something. Shoot, I'll make you some chicken wings because I'm really trying to see what that mouth do. Oh, and I wish a man would come in my comment section and say, that is just so sexual. No, it's really not. It's called research. It's called vetting properly. And it involves food. I'm not about to waste my time with you. I wish I would get in a sack and regret it. I don't regret. So we're going to have to make sure that this is what it seems to advertise. So I'm going to get in this kitchen. I'm going to make him some chicken wings. I'm going to sauce it up too. Oh, I'm going to put some sauce on them wings. And we about to see what's really going on. Shoot, don't be wasting don't waste your time. I've heard horror stories of women get into these sexual engagements with these men and it missed. And she was devastated. And then she come to me, she was like, it was awful. I said, how awful was it? She's like, it was bad. I just laid there and then I'm like, girl, you did what? God. I told you to make them chicken wings. The game is on too. He watching the game. Girl. Nobody said you had to be slaving. This is a one-time thing. It's a special occasion. The game is on. Girl, make the wings and see what that mouth do. And then you can go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, it seemed like what he advertising, it seemed legit. That's just a tip. I'm just saying, it's just a tip. I don't know where all these men are coming from, but listen, I'm just honest.
Did all of the right things, had these conversations, like took her out, did all of the things to play the game. So what is your advice for women who are watching for the red flags, asking the questions, like thinking that they're doing their due diligence and then they're just dealing with like a fraud?
So I'm very skeptical of any situation that proclaims that this man just fooled you the entire time. I always say a lot of times women don't get played, they play themselves. All right.
Girl, stop playing.
They see something. They pick up, and even if you can't say you saw something specific, they sensed, yes, they felt like something's not right. But again, they try to ignore it. So to me, you've got to be strong as a woman in the sense of accepting your intuition. Stop denying it. Stop running from it. And if you're spiritual, you got to go to God and pray about the situation and asking God, not just looking for signs, hearing it in your spirit, like, this is what I need to do.
Don't be bringing God into this.
Again, I don't think anyone's that good of a liar. I think that you let someone talk enough, they're going to expose themselves. You just have to know how to keep them talking. And so that requires conversations, asking questions, diving deeper, because
you guys, I tell y'all that all the time. I tell y'all, if you just allow these men to talk, they will talk themselves right out of your panties, sis. That's why I be letting these men talk, and I don't get defensive. I don't get upset. I don't get angry. Because then I'm going to ruin my vetting. I'm going to ruin the process. And I'm like, no, we got to be disciplined. You cannot be mad. You cannot be mad. Make it light. Make the situation light. Okay, cool. Because a lot of these men, you let them talk. They talk themselves right out of your panties. Do you not know how many men I sat down with and they brought up Kevin Samuels? Now, I don't disagree with everything that man said, but the subjects that these men would bring up with Kevin Samuels being the main topic of conversation, he talked himself right out of my panties. Oh my God, he talked him right out of my he had me, and then he fumbled me. He had me, fumbled me. You know, men like to watch sports. So I'm like, he had me, he fumbled me, y'all. He brought up Kevin Samuels, and then the topic that he chose to use. I'm like, sir, are you serious? Do you really do this with women that you date? I could tell, and then let me tell you something else. A lot of these men, if you allow them to talk, they talk themselves right out of your panties. You can tell they ain't had some in a while, because you just be like, he don't have those social cues. And I'll be picking up on that. He don't have them social cues that men that really, you know, they get the panties, they get the drawers, they get the thongs, they get the G-strings, they get the panties. You can tell when a man gets them, and you can tell when a man don't. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of these men that show up on this platform right here, and this is why I'm like, I laugh a lot, because I'm like, he don't get them panties, he don't get them drawers, he don't get them thongs like that. He try to portray like he do, but he really don't. That's why they be so upset. They be so angry. Like that man that I was reacting to the other day, that man was triggered. Do you really think that a man would be that triggered over a video if he got some HEAD last night? No. So you know he ain't gonna be. He ain't even worried about you, because he got some head last night. I'm just being real. Like, that's why I don't know why y'all get mad at these men that be saying and doing the things they say on here. I'm like, it's because he ain't had sex. It's because he ain't got none. It's because he don't got nobody to do a job when he woke up this morning and he got out of bed. Oh my God. You know, so he did not get no breakfast before breakfast. You know what I mean? So I don't know why y'all be getting upset. I don't. I just be laughing. I be knowing exactly what it is. You know, a woman always knows. And that's what these men don't like. I be knowing. I be like, oh, whew, that's tough. Be grumpy, angry, miserable. Just miserable. Be sexually frustrated. That's a lot. Y'all, I'm telling, a lot of the stuff that y'all be seeing on social media, and you be like, why would he do that? Why would he say that? Sexually frustrated. And remember, men need sex. See, we women, we don't really need it. We want it. Oh, we want it. But men, they need sex. And when they don't get it, oh my God, y'all, they be throwing a free. Okay, when men don't get sex, they are the same way when we are on our menstrual cycles. When men don't get sex, when they are backed up, they act like the way we act when we are on our menstrual cycles. This is why I be telling y'all, men and women, yes, we are different, but we are very similar. So when a man ain't getting no head, and he not getting no boom, boom, he not getting no doggy style action, no nothing like that, bro, he in that period hormonal type of stuff, type of thing within himself. And then you be like, well, who pissed you off today? Just like how we are when we are on our menstrual cycle, and they be like, why you got an attitude? It's the same thing, y'all. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. That's why they be so mad, and they angry, and they got an attitude. The same way we are when we on our menstrual cycles.
Because it's very easy for people to either, when they give you a BS answer, you can sense it, or they just dance around the situation or dismiss it altogether. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there's just certain questions that men will and women will expose themselves on. Like if you ask a dude questions about handling finances in a relationship, he's very likely to tell you straight up what it is. So if you don't like the way that he does things, you don't have to keep guessing. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to have those conversations. But we tend, when I say we, society tends to be scared to dive deeper early on. It's like, well, I don't want to
'Cause I
run
don't
this
run you
person away.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, yo, if they run away because you're diving deeper, they're not for you.
Exactly.
That's the way you weed them out.
Yep. And that was literally a question that I have here, because women do have such a hard time asking questions because they don't want to be annoying. They don't want to push too much. They don't want to turn you off. So how do you toe the line between being interested and being inquisitive and digging deep, but not like being annoying?
Again, annoying is a perception based off of likability. Basically meaning, let's look at it from a woman's perspective. If 10 guys DM a woman right now, hey, you're beautiful, right? And you look at them dudes and all 10, they don't like them. So to you, they're annoying, they're thirsty, whatever. Mr. 11 says the same thing. Hey, beautiful. But you like this dude and now you're flattered. This is cute. It's not the action. It's how much you like them, and as well when it comes to women, it's the energy that you're giving off when you're asking these questions.
That's true.
If you're asking with an energy of interrogation, of being hard and having an attitude, and that can happen when you ask the question because you're expecting a negative answer. You can't go into the conversation expecting something bad. You have to go in believe either clean slate or believing something positive, but prepared for something negative. You see what I'm saying? Because when you prepare for negative, you project that. And that's the energy that's making you come off annoying or what's wrong with her? Nah, she got problems and now I don't want to deal with her no more.
So what are some of those red flags that women can be showing that they might not recognize, or that, you don't know that you're presenting? Like, I might talk too much, but I don't know that I talk too much.
You guys, I hope we taking this conversation very lightheartedly. Okay, y'all know I'm in a space where I just don't care, and it shows. I just don't care, cause like all these rules and guidelines, I just be like, I don't have time to remember all of this type of stuff. I really don't, but I'll entertain this conversation for y'all because I love y'all and stuff, and I know some of y'all still out here, y'all ain't giving up, but I'm at a point where I really don't care. So I'm just, I'm listening, but I ain't listening that much. Because I ain't gonna be thinking about this stuff when I'm sitting down. And listen, if you want to know about how to be in this world, you're gonna have to go outside and figure it out. Outside. And then you can take what some of the stuff that you may hear on here and utilize it in a way that benefits you, but you can't take all of this crap that you hear every day. I mean, some of these people, it's just a mess. Like some of the stuff that they be saying, I'm like, really? The only part that I would ever take out of this video so far is just the simple fact that men can have sex with you raw and not want to be with you. Period. Okay, cool. Move on. I mean, but we already knew that, but I'm just at a point where I just do not care. I mean, this is becoming insanity at this point. I mean, I will never forget when I tried to do Insanity for the first time, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. This is so exhausting. Oh my God, am I going to be able to keep up with this? This is insanity when it comes to dating. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I can't. I gave up. Listen, I'll be outside. I'll be at the bar at a happy hour or a lunch special. I'm probably going to go to a happy hour tonight, and I'm going to just be outside. And if I meet a nice man, I meet a nice man, but I ain't tripping about it. This is stressful. I'm not about to stress about this. Shoot, she done brought up 90 days. She done brought up what are red flags that a woman may be giving off to a man. And I'm just like, dang, that's why everything is so transactional, because there's also like it's like premeditated. We are actually sitting here right now being groomed on how to be in this space where you premeditate your next move. I ain't trying to premeditate my next move. I'm trying to flow. So I'm gonna take it when you take this conversation or anything on this platform, you take it with a grain of salt. You saw that man in that restaurant and he be like, salt. You take it with a grain of salt, because if you try to take it for everything, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be who you are. And you want to be who you are. So you take what you like, you take what resonates, you take what you feel will work for you. And then you know what you do with the rest? You throw it in the trash. You know what? I'm going to tell you to go outside and burn it because it's not worth it don't do nothing for you. It's not valuable to you. So I'm going to tell you to go outside and burn it. Yeah, Salt Bay. You take all these conversations, including the things that I say, you take it with a grain of salt. And then you're going to be so happy. Do not stress yourself out when it comes to this stuff. These conversations, it's not supposed to be stressful. Life is not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be easy. You're supposed to move and do things at ease. And if you're trying to keep up with all these rules and regulations and 90-day this and 90-day that, you're not going to be happy with your life. I'm going to tell you now. So this is just for fun at this point. That's why I be joking now, because I just be like, well, another one bites the dust. We got another one here. We got another one. You're not going to be happy that way. I'm going to tell you to just take it with a grain of salt. Live your life the way that you see fit. Be safe about it. But yeah, that's all I really got for you. But we're going to entertain this conversation for the time being because she's trying to figure out, because this girl, she seemed like she's still out here dating and she's taking it very seriously. She wants to know, what red flags do women tend to give off to men? And I'm interested in what he has to say.
I might say the wrong things. Maybe I'm not talking too much, but I'm telling everybody all my business on the first date. Like, what are some of the, give us the game. Like, how can they get past, we sick of these first dates, Stefan. We got to get past number one.
Again, I think, remember, like somebody once said, rules are for people you don't like. So basically, when we like the person enough, we're way more flexible. So again, we have to understand that some of this is just based on the fact that it just wasn't clicking like that. There's no way around it. You can't force anything to happen. But
see, this rule that he just gave, he said, rules are for people that you don't like. Girl, let me tell you something. Any man believing that, you dealing with me? Woo, I feel bad for you. You really don't think I like you. And you know what's crazy? I think that's why I got the rep that I have. Men really don't think I like them. I like them. I like men. I like them a lot. But I got standards, though. And I don't bend them. I don't. Ooh, I hope you don't take all women. Listen, all women ain't like that, sir. I'm going to tell you that now. No. I learned when I was in my adolescence to never bend rules for people. That's how you get played. So I don't care how sexy you look. You got a six-pack. That's great. I'm glad you're healthy, sir. But I'm gonna still have the same rules that I had, the same standard. And they're not even rules. They're standards that I had prior to your six-pack, sir. That's crazy. He going around telling women that. That's actually dangerous to say. There are some women out here that can like you a lot. I don't know what man needs to hear this. There are some women out here where we can really genuinely be into you and feeling you. That sexual tension, we can be into you and feeling you, and we can feel the sexual tension. But because we have standards and we really do stick to them, we don't fold, we don't bend, we don't buckle at the knees because we're not a doormat, right? Those standards don't change just because we feeling you and we attracted. That's crazy. So that's dangerous to say. The man that I'm dating right now, he know that. But at this point, sure, he probably don't think I like him. That's crazy. He probably don't think I like him because I have standards. I don't have time for that. I got standards. I don't know if you already said it, but where did you get this top from? I want to say boohoo. So yeah, I just want men to know that, like, just because a woman is being difficult within good reason, right? She has her standards or whatever like that. That doesn't mean that she don't like you. It just means that she knows her worth, she knows her value, and she's not gonna fold or buckle at the knees just because she likes you. And you should actually you should respect her. And the reason is because that's a good woman. She don't let anybody in. She don't let just anybody just don't get access to her. So you should actually feel like, damn, like she really did, like she likes me, but this is her nature. And I respect that because I know she not out here just entertaining just anybody. And I respect that. I don't know why women don't look at it. I mean, men don't look at it like that. I have discipline. I mean, I've been in some situations where the sexual tension, shoo, but I got standards. And I want to be able to wake up the next day proud. I don't make choices and decisions that I can't own or be proud of. I try not to. Of course, I have in the past, and I have learned from them. But like, I don't want to have to own or take accountability at my big age, at my grown age, over something that I'm not really 100% proud of or feel confident in. So there's just some things I'm just not going to do. So, but when I was younger, I made some mistakes. I did some dumb stuff, and I've learned from them. So now at my big age, if I don't want to take accountability for it, if I don't want to own it, if the next day I'm going to wake up and be in this energy of regret, I'm not doing it. So, I can't do it.
Well, one thing that popped in my head when you were asking that was, and I will say this, I think the average man doesn't even pay attention to this. I pay attention to this, and I still think it's something that women should be mindful of, is when he is talking, are you jumping in before he even finishes? Are you over talking him? Now, people will say, well, I'm getting excited. I don't mean to cut him. No, but it shows you're not presently listening. And if I'm talking to men, I'm telling them that's a red flag they need to be mindful of. Because now what's going to happen is, as you go further in that relationship and y'all having discussion, she don't listen no more. She always overtalks you, always jumps in, cuts you off, and that's going to cause a problem. And so now...
I wanted to say something, but I was holding it in.
Now this, y'all, I 1,000% agree on. There are way too many women out here, and this is dangerous because I'm gonna give you the womanly perspective. He just gave you the manly perspective. Okay, cool. But the womanly perspective, girl, the more you interject, the more you overtalk, the more you interrupt, the more information you are missing out on. Key information that can save your life, information that is valuable to you, information that is resourceful. It's just not smart. And then I had a friend, and this is when I was like, so this is what men be talking about. I had a friend. Well, I thought I had a friend, girl. She was so rude. Like, when I tell you, she would talk so much, you couldn't get a word in. And then when you get on the phone with her, you would get super exhausted, because she'd just go nonstop. Y'all, I swear to God. I'm not even talking about, like, even when she would take a breath, it was through a word. Like, she'd be like, well, like, I'm like, girl, slow down. Allow people to actually engage in conversation with you. Women need to be mindful that you are sharing a conversation with this man. And when it comes to communication, it also involves you listening. And that was the first time I ever experienced a woman like that. I said, damn, y'all, when I tell y'all, and now I know how men feel. I'm like, when I tell y'all I was so exhausted, I said, I need to go take me a nap. I got to go take me a nap. So she was just the type to overtalk, interrupt, and then this is the worst part about it all. This is when I really understood men and where they were coming from when it comes to dating. This is the worst part. when you finally were able to get a word in and you were able to share something that like an experience or something that you had going on, it was almost like she just dismissed that completely. I don't even think she heard me. So she would be talking about her day, and then finally I could get a word in, and I'll go, well, I'll be like, well, this is what's going on with me, and and then she would literally, I would finish that sentence, and then she would go into something else, as if she didn't even acknowledge what I said, which tells me I don't think she listens. I don't think she listens to anybody. She talks a lot. So as a woman, just be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. Like, just be mindful that when you are on a date or you are engaging in conversation with people, allow them to speak. Don't overtalk them, interrupt them, or just completely dismiss or not engage with what they had to say in the conversation. So I had this experience with a girlfriend, so I know exactly what he's talking about. And if you are a woman that do that, I wouldn't want to date you either. I'm just being honest. The whole date is going to be you talking. I'm not going to be able to get a word in. I'm going to be drained. And also, like, I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to feel you out. I'm trying to see if there's a connection, and you just doing all the talking. I wouldn't want to go on a date with you either. That's just me being honest. That's me being honest. Whew, it's very disrespectful. Like, I was like, dang, I can never get a word in. And y'all, I'm talking about these I would be on the phone just like listening. Conversation would be 30 minutes, 45 minutes long. I'm like, I gotta start picking better friends. This is ridiculous. And then I didn't even get to express how I feel or how my day was or what's going on with me. I'm just the listener. I'm just listening. But that was my own fault. I should have said something.
and that's where a lot of things go wrong, because then what happens is, and it's a crazy thing, because so the woman kind of dominates the conversation in that way, jumping in, cutting them off. And a lot of men, instead of correcting that situation with her, letting her know this is not acceptable, they cower to it. And now they end up becoming more silent. But then that only pisses her off even more, because now you're not talking. Why aren't you opening up? So it just creates a snowball effect of negative problems. And it's like, it's just not worth it. So it needs to be nipped in the bud as early as possible. And of course, that goes for both sides. Both people need to learn to listen when the person is talking. Let them finish, then make your statement.
So with that being said, do you recommend therapy for any relationship, for relationships that are moving towards marriage? Do you not recommend therapy? Like, what role do you think therapy plays in
Absolutely.
a relationship?
Everyone should be doing therapy. I don't care if you're single, dating, married. Like, I hate the idea that people think, well, why should we go to couples therapy if we're just in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? Well,
you want to be more than that.
Exactly. And even if you don't want to be more than that, it's to help you have a healthier dynamic. So one way or another, if you're going to remain in this situation and there are problems and you guys have not been able to resolve those problems amongst each other, then go to a third party. There's no reason why you shouldn't. So I definitely think, and especially before you get married.
Especially.
Like, that to me is a huge mistake when people don't do marriage counseling before they get premarital counseling.
So do you think it should be a deal breaker if you bring up the suggestion to go to therapy or counseling or whatever and your partner isn't prepared?
If I'm honest, hell yeah, it should be a deal breaker. Only because my thing is, if you are unwilling to seek help to rectify things now, what are we setting ourselves up for later? Or because we can't always do this ourselves. We're gonna need help sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's just a really big problem. And I think if someone knows that by not going, I will lose this relationship, and they're still unwilling to go, they
should just tell you something.
Exactly. Right? That's enough right there.
So there's this thought around dating someone's potential. And I have my own thoughts about dating potential. And my theory kind of got skewed with like Michelle Obama, because it's like, how can you argue with this? Like, how can you argue? And Michelle, it worked out for her, right? What is your advice for a woman who comes to you and she says, she describes this man and she says she's dating his potential, like she sees what he can become? I don't necessarily think it's a cookie cutter answer, but what's your perspective on
I
it?
say hell no.
Okay,
it should
that's a
not
cookie
be
cutter.
done. Yeah, it's cookie cutter. And let me use the whole Obama situation. There are people right now who invested in the lotto every week to try to win, and eventually won.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it a good investment strategy. All right. Just because one or two people have, and not just one or two people, just because a small segment of people, because it's always exceptions to every rule, have success, that doesn't make it the wise choice. So yes, Obama, she got lucky or she was fortunate, whatever the case may be. But for every one case of success, I got 1,000 more of complete failure and destruction. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it is extremely dangerous because you have to ask yourself, if this person does not get better from here, will I be happy? There has to be a foundation. It doesn't mean we don't strive to continuously be better, but do they have a strong enough foundation that I can be happy with? Because you're not guaranteed change will come. All right. And unfortunately, the potential you see, they may not see in themselves. So it's like you're trying to drag them to a place that it's not in their heart to go to. It's almost like you'll have these scenarios where, let's say a guy is a plumber and he's making 60 grand and the woman gets with him, but she wants a 6-figure man. But she says, he has potential. He could own his own plumbing business. But that joker don't want to own a business, all right? Everybody's not built for that. They're not wired for that. He is happy and content making $60,000. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. That's his thing. That's his thing. Exactly. If you now try to make him be more than that, he will start to resent you.
Facts.
And you will resent him if he's not moving his feet fast enough. So now y'all arguing about stuff because you're trying to make something happen that never existed here. There was never real.
And listen, you guys, like it makes sense to me. Because one thing, I don't know if it's maybe it's because of my brothers, but they really taught me this valuable lesson. Men, they don't like doing nothing that they don't want to do. And when you try to talk them into doing it, they automatically mark that as nagging. So through my relationship with my own brothers, I have learned to just be completely hands off. I have. And any man that I get in a relationship with, like I said, I have learned this is just with people, but let's talk about men here for a sec. Any man that I get a relationship with, either he meets my standards or he don't. But it's up to me to ensure that he meets my standards. So I'm not in this relationship with him where I'm pressuring him to be something that he's not. Because I should have did my job and made sure that before I got into this relationship that he met my standards. I shouldn't have to groom him and mother him into meeting them. He either met the standards when we got together or he didn't. And if he didn't, that's my fault. That's not his fault. He doing what he doing. He is who he is. And this is why, like, even when it comes to your friends and stuff like that, sometimes you gotta leave people where you met them. You can't force them to change. You can't nag them into changing. You just gotta pack your stuff and leave. So that's why I be telling y'all, like, move around, do you. If there's no expectations, there's just standards. And if people don't meet them, well, they just don't meet them. But you don't force them onto people, though. Okay. He not lying. And it is, I can see how men will resent you because it's like, you're basically saying the person that you met, that you claim you fell in love with and all of this, you don't like him. Like, you don't like the person. It's all a lie because you're trying to change that person. So, and I seen men try to do it too. They get with a woman and, they want her to be like this baddie. And it's like, but you didn't get with a baddie. And he's trying to change her by telling her to wear this or to dress like this or to wear her hair like that. Like he's really trying to change her. And so she grows to resent him as well. I think like you should meet people based off of your standards and you should just keep it at that. And if he wanted a baddie, he should have got a baddie when he was out here looking. I don't understand it. And if you wanted a man that made $100,000 a year, you should have got with a man that made $100,000 a year before you got with this man. man. Like it goes the same way. If your friend isn't progressing and growing in life in the way that you feel that she should, well, you got to leave her where you met her because she no longer meets your standards. So you got to leave her where you met her, which was like in middle school or high school or college, because now you guys have grown and she just not meeting the standards like she was when you was in middle school, or y'all were in middle school, or like y'all were in high school. And so you got to leave her where you met her. You got to start learning the art and how to leave people where you met them.
Potential here. It's what you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so potential sometimes is an imaginary perception.
Say that one more time.
Potential sometimes is an imaginary perception.
So what do you think about the idea of like dating, being equally yoked, dating down? There's a concept of like the high value man. Everybody wants the high value man, the 6-figure earner, everybody wants that, but everybody is not necessarily qualified for that. Like you're not a match to that. And so you get frustrated because you're not getting what you want, but what you want is not necessarily in alignment with who you are. My opinion. What is your opinion on dating? I don't want to say dating down, but dating a person that's in alignment with where you are currently versus where you might see yourself. Because maybe you're not where you want to be, but you want to date somebody that's already there.
Yeah. So I think one, let me say, I'm not a fan of dating down in that way. To me, it's all about connection. If there's a connection with someone who other people perceive as lower status than you or whatever, I don't care about what they perceive. I don't even care if you've been brainwashed to see it that way. If there's a connection, you should embrace it. If there's not, you should walk away. But I think the way people need to...
Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm so tired about this high value man conversation, y'all. I'm about to fall asleep over here listening to this man talk about this high value conversation. First and foremost, if you've ever been out here and you dated a man that's rich, I'm gonna tell you now, it does not make him high value, and you'll learn this. It just makes him a man with money, and there are a lot of men out here that have money and they're very ignorant, very stupid. And they have a scarcity mindset. They have a poverty mindset. And so because of that, they can be stingy with the money that they do have. And so they want to test out your body, but their wallet is a problem. You testing out their wallet is just a problem. I am very tired of this conversation because I went out here, I dated men that were the quote unquote high value man, and they were trash because it was just based off of their pockets. Now, you know what I go for? And this is why I be telling y'all, get out here and learn for yourself. Don't go off of what everybody's telling you. So, you know what I learned? I can only speak from my experience only. But you know what I learned? I learned that the average Joe, the 9 to 5, the guy that go into work every day, he worked from 7 a.m. to 5 o'clock. He more reliable. He more dependable. He's more emotionally available and engaged and stuff like that. He's not so much into his ego as much as a man that is in fact rich. Then I started thinking too that the more your man makes, the less you will see him too. I started thinking like that. And I started thinking like, dang, I'm going to be in this big house by myself majority of the time because this man, he's a businessman. He's always traveling because his work requires it. Or he has a very, very demanding job, which requires more hours than the average Joe that works a 9 to 5 job. And so I started thinking like, this ain't what I really want. I thought I wanted it, but it wasn't what I really wanted because I'm like, dang, we will barely be able to see each other because he's always working and I'm always going to be in this house by myself. And I started thinking about raising a family with this man. Like, is he going to be there? Is he going to be around? Will he be missing my kids' birthdays? Will he be there supporting my children when it comes to their extracurricular activities and things like that? I think about stuff like this, and I think women are not being realistic. They just want what they see on Instagram, but in real life, there's another side. And I don't feel like women are being honest about that. These men be busy, y'all, and tired. Oh my, they be tired. They will fall asleep on you in a heartbeat. And then they have the craziest schedules. It's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. Like it is a lot. And then you see how they're working all the time. You see how their money attracts questionable people. You see how their family, some of their family could feel like they are entitled to their money, and how that has a toll on his emotional and mental health, plus a high demanding job. Like, you guys, as a woman, like, you know, it's our job to nurture and to heal when it comes to these relationships and things like that. And I'm going to ask you, like, do you want to emotionally be there and nurture a man that has such a high demanding job and has family that are super entitled, has friends that are questionable because this man has money, and you see them for who they are, and then you don't say nothing because that's their friend, right? Girl, it's a mess. There's a lot. That's why I'm like, you know, I ain't never gonna do no broke man though. I'm never gonna do broke. I ain't gonna do no potential nothing. You either are who I need you to be or you not. And if you're not, well, sorry. Better luck next lifetime. But this lifetime, you just didn't make the cut. But I rich though, I billionaire. I don't know about that either. I don't know. Men work, y'all. The ones that are really out here and they are seriously making the money legitimately, they are tired, they are busy, and they will not have a lot of time for you. They will be sitting, you're going to be sitting up in that big house. It's lovely. By yourself. And a lot of y'all, I'm going to tell y'all now, I'm just going to be honest. A lot of women today, they so insecure. A lot of y'all can't even handle a successful man. And that's just me being honest. That is just me being honest. And you want to know why? The number one reason? You don't like being by yourself. You're not going to be able to stay. You're going to hate being in that big house by yourself. There are some women out here, we go find something to do. Not sleep with another man. We actually go find something to do. We get a hobby. We may even get a little job. We're not working the job for money. We just working the job just because it's something to do. It's something to buy time. But a lot of women cannot handle a successful man because it requires you to be alone a lot. Just being honest. Just being honest. Shoot, I had my wake-up call and I was like, I don't know about this. That's just me being honest. He always working. He always falling asleep on me. And honestly, the falling asleep, oh my God. The falling asleep isn't like, you just be like, dang, we can't even finish this movie together. So I just want y'all to know, like, you know, what you see on Instagram, it comes with a cost. And you got to ask yourself, because I'm not going to tell you, what's for me is for me, what's for you is for you. It comes with a cost, and you got to figure out, get out here and figure it out. But you got to figure out for yourself if that's truly what you want, and stop going off of how they glamorize it on social media. That's all I'm going to say. So some women can handle it, but when you start having kids and you want to start making traditions and things like that, like, I can handle being by myself. I'm fine. But when I have kids and I want to make traditions and memories and stuff like that, and my man is always working, and I appreciate him for working, you know, because he's providing for his family. But it's like, damn, you're not going to make it to, you know, this event, or your child's birthday, or like your child's game. You know what I mean? That's stuff that women need to get real about. And I'm going to tell you, you go and you sit down with a Becky, a Karen, a Jessica, a Kayla, the women that are stay-at-home moms, and they have a man that works a demanding job. You have a conversation with them, and they're going to tell you what it really is. Just being honest.
To look at it, I'll give an analogy. There's tons of people who want to have a G-Wagon, right? And when they dream about having a G-Wagon, they're only thinking about the luxury of having it, the enjoyment of having this nice car. But what you don't realize is when you go to buy it, that payment's going to be serious. That maintenance is going to be serious. There's a level of stress that might come with this car. So you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do the things that it takes to even maintain this? All right. Now, if you get to the dealership and you realize this G-Wagon is too much for me. All right. And now you find you a nice Honda, all right, that drives what you need to do, and you're happy in your Honda. To me, you didn't date down. You didn't downgrade in your car. You found what was best for you.
Yep.
What works for you. There's this middle ground of where I can be happy with what I'm receiving, and I'm happy with what I have to give in return. You see, a lot of women, when they think about quote unquote high value men, they're only thinking about what I'm going to receive. They're not considering what I'm going to have to give.
A whole lot.
Exactly. And it's like, yo, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't want to give all that. So let me go be with a man who's in that range that I can have that trade-off that I'm happy with.
And two, having a type. How has, in your experience with women, how has their type been either helping their situation or hurting them being able to find who they're looking for?
So I want to put it like this. I think there's nothing wrong with having a type in regards to what you're attracted to is what you're attracted to. I think it's problematic when it's like...
Is that true? What you're attracted to is what you're attracted to?
Yeah, I do think.
Like physically or just period overall? I
think in a lot of different ways. It could be physically, it could be emotionally. There's various things that you're going to be attracted. So for example, me as a man, so I think one, we have to understand that I believe we all have internal wiring. Like some people think you live life and you become who you want to be. No, I believe you are who you are from day one. You have to live life to figure it out and then live that to the best of your ability. So what I've come across is like, there are some women out there who like a lavish lifestyle. All right. Love taking care of themselves, getting their hair done, nails done. They love that. And there's some women who don't want to deal with that at all. All right. Now, I'm attracted to the women that like taking care of themselves, that like that lifestyle. So to me, there's not going to be an attraction to, there might be a physical attraction to that woman who doesn't like doing those things, but can we sustain that over the long run? That's the problem. It's also, let's flip it. If you're a woman who likes to live a nice lifestyle and you compromise and say, I'm going to get with this frugal man. Like I knew a couple who the woman likes nice things, and the man was one of those dudes. If he found a couch on the corner, he dust it off, take it home. We got a new couch.
Not gonna work. All right? Not gonna work.
And over time, it would piss her off. And now you being pissed off turns into you don't want to sleep with him right now because you're annoyed. That turns into him having an attitude. You see, and again, it's a snowball effect. We overlook these small things that we don't fit in, and we don't realize how that turns into the big issue later. So to me, going back to the whole attraction thing, I do think there's certain types of people, there may be certain physical attributes that people are naturally attracted to. But where the type comes into a play where it's a problem is when you hold so strong to it, you ignore the fact that sometimes we're attracted to people who didn't fit our type. All right. You have to be flexible in that way. You can have your type, but understand it may not always play out that exact way. So as a man may.
I gotta work on my facial expressions, but y'all know that you go get the couch off the street, sir. That your couch, I would be mad too. No, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. We do quality. Now I am a bargain shopper, but we don't take no couch off the street. We don't know if the couch got bed bugs. We don't know who was laying on that couch before we decided to sit on it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like you gotta vet a person, and you really gotta be connected, because attraction is not just sexual, it's not just physical, it's not even just mental. Like attraction is also being on the same page when it comes to like a couch and choosing a couch. Because first of all, I could never even lay up with a man sexually and find him sexually attractive if I felt like he really would feel comfortable sleeping on a couch that he got on the side of the road. I gotta reevaluate who am I dealing with? So no, he ain't lied, y'all. He ain't lied not one time throughout this entire talking segment right here. He's not lying. He is not lying. I think this dating era that we're in, everybody focuses just on the physical. But attraction is so much greater than just physical.
They love tall women, right? But if he comes across a short woman that he's drawn to, has a connection, everything's great, it would be foolish to overlook her because, well, she's not my type. You see what I'm saying?
I think for women, though, the type thing comes down to more than physical.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, only because I think for a lot of women end up in this revolving door when it comes to relationships where it's a new man, but the same situation over and over because of their type. Not they look alike, but it's the type of the way that he picked you up, what he said to you, the type of conversation he has, that type. And that is what gets us into trouble a lot of times, because that type is usually based on the butterflies, the bad boy thing, that is what is fun and exciting, not the bugaboo, not the one that's saying, the nice, sweet.
Well, you know what? So I actually was speaking to somebody in my DM, actually.
It's going down in the DMs?
Public figure needing some help. And we had this conversation because she actually recently left a really good guy because she typically likes a bad boy, whatever. And I explained to her, I think society mislabels what's really going on here. The issue isn't that women like bad boys or men who treat them poorly. They like masculine men. All right? Plain and simple. If you are a man who can be loving, respectful, nice, all that stuff, but still be masculine, you're going to get women left and right. They're going to still love you. All right? Are there some women who may have this, let's say she just likes a hood dude and he has to be a hood dude. But listen, I've met women who she may have dated hood dudes her whole life, but if she meets a dude who has that masculine energy and doesn't look exactly like the hood, she's still drawn to that man.
Are there really women out here that like hood men? Like after 16? I really want to know. I do, because I'm just like, really? And men have the audacity to come in my comment section and stereotype me. I'm like, I ain't never dated no Pookie. I ain't never dated no hood booger. Like my father would say, I ain't never been with no hood booger. Y'all come on, that's crazy. Listen, I need you to be able to code switch. And if you don't know what that means, well, let me explain to you. I need you to be able to move in certain spaces with white people and not be embarrassing and not act ignorantly and not say things like, hey, yo, man. Like, no, I need you to be like, sir, you're not coming into a professional environment in space. Like, we out trying to buy a house. We speaking to the realtor. We doing our walkthrough. And you just saying some very ignorant things. I don't want to deal with that. So that's why when men be coming in my comment section, I'm like, listen, don't stereotype me, because you're going to be looking real stupid, real dumb, because I don't have time for that. I need you to be able to code switch. Listen, what you do with your friends and how you talk with your friends, that's one thing. But like when we are in a space and we're sharing it with certain people that like to stereotype Black people, I'm gonna need you to code switch. We gotta be here with that. And I don't feel like a hood booger could do that for me. So I don't find them exciting. I'm sorry. I don't find them exciting. I mean, not after 16. Not after 16, because you got to play the game. See, and I'm big on that. You got to play the game. You got to get with a partner, right? Male or female. You got to get with a partner that can play the game, that you can bring to a holiday party at your job, and they don't embarrass you. For real. I think women need to start thinking like this. I'm the type of woman you could bring to your office, party, meet your boss, and make an impression. I'm the type of woman that can do that. So I need that type of man in my life. Like, he's the type of man that can make an impression, when it comes to certain spaces, when it comes to business. It is what it is. So I'm like, a hood. Now, the masculine talk. I do feel like there are a lot of men that are just feminine these days. But masculinity is not about being hood or being thuggish. It's about being assertive, being a leader, taking charge. I don't get that. But a thug, that's why y'all can't stand Russell Wilson, because you don't feel like he's that masculine. He's not the type of masculine, or he doesn't display the type of masculinity that you think he should. But it's like men just don't get it. That thuggish thing, no. I'm sorry, you don't have to have a Glock in your waistband. Like, I just need you to be a leader. I need you to have a good head on your shoulders. I need you to assert yourself when need be. Take charge when needed. Y'all overthinking it. And then what was that man's name? He went viral again talking about Russell again. I forget that man's name. He gets on my nerves and he's very annoying. Channing. It's like he really bothered by this man. And I'm just like, it's because sometimes masculinity don't have to be loud. It's very subtle. That's the energy that I get from Russell Wilson. He just don't feel like he gotta come in and be all loud with it. He don't. And I'm going to tell you now, he allowed his pockets to do majority of the talking when it comes to his masculinity. And you see a lot of these men, they don't know what that's about. They don't know what that's about at all. They think it's an attitude, or they think it's control. They think it's manipulation. But see, Russell, he understands them pockets do a lot. That wallet, that bank account, his house, the fact that he got how many kids? He got 4 kids, because he decided to take on another man's responsibility. Oh, y'all don't know nothing about that. But you think it's thuggish, hood. Grow up. Let's grow up. Let's grow. You think it's having an attitude. You think it's listening to hip hop. You think it's having sex with multiple women. You think it's playing games. You think it's everything but what it's not.
Gotcha.
I think it's the masculine energy. So what women have to understand is and that's why you have to be flexible and realize it's not the type, it's the energy, it's the attraction, it's those fundamental things that you have to now evaluate, because there are tons of good masculine men. You don't have to have the dude who treats you like crap to have a masculine man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's the same way women will say, oh, well, men just want hoes. Ain't no man waking up saying, I can't wait to marry a hoe. Like, that's not what the man thought.
Y'all are smashing
I can't tell.
Yeah, smashing and marrying is two different things. But the point is he attracted to hoes, or is he attracted to women that present themselves in a way physically that he's drawn to? Is he attracted to women who like to look good? Is he attracted to women who have nice bodies? Because if he's just attracted to hoes, then you can find you an unattractive hoe and he would still want her. But that's not what happens. He's only going after attractive women that look a certain way. So it's not really about her being a hoe. But what happens is, again, the opposite, the side who loses in that situation loves to mislabel the issue. So the man will say, women just want a bad boy rather than accepting, nah, bruh, you're not masculine enough. You have to work on that. Women, he just wants hoes. No, you're not presenting yourself properly. You're not being effective in how you exude your energy. That's the reality of it.
I waited. I didn't want to cut you off.
I appreciate
when I get
that.
home, my man gonna be like, see how he got you together? Yeah, I'm sorry, babe. I'm gonna work on that. So you just brought up something that reminded me. Y'all, I don't think this is the first time. We went and grabbed lunch years and years ago, Stefan. And Stefan does this thing where if you ever like sit down with a therapist, they start therapeuting you. So he's like, yo, your hard exterior, you all business, you making this face. And he was literally like breaking down to me what men see when they sit down with me, which was a benefit. I ain't really like how he did it, but it was helpful, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of women, we are buttoned up, business minded, boss energy, and that is not attractive to most men.
Exactly.
How do we break down that tough exterior? Not to the point where we have to be someone that we're not, but how do we navigate, being who we are, but then being who a man appreciates a woman to be?
Okay. So first thing, let's clarify. It's not attracted to the men that women actually want and like.
Right.
Because what I always find is that boss woman, that masculine woman, she's getting dudes who want her. She's just not getting the one she wants to want her.
He ain't lying with that. Steven didn't lie with that one, y'all. And see, this is the thing. I had to learn this too, especially over the last few years. Am I presenting myself in the world in a way that attracts what I want? Or am I presenting myself in the world in a way that attracts what I don't want? And see, a lot of women are afraid to make these changes. I change how I dress. I change how I carry myself now. I changed a lot about myself because how I was presenting myself, it was in a way that was attracting things that I did not want. So as a woman, I had to put my big girl panties on, right? And I had to adapt this new mature mindset that said, okay, this isn't working. I tried it this way. It's not working. That's step number one. You're done being in denial, right? And then step number two was, okay, what do I need to change to attract the things that I do want? I had to change my attitude. I had to change my ways. I had to change my mindset. And I was willing to do this because I was benefiting. I was benefiting because I made it a point that the changes that I was making, it was about me. So I gave up on the Instagram baddie modeling career. I stopped doing that stuff. I stopped dressing like the Instagram baddie, really. And I'm really about to take it up a notch. I lost some weight, but I'm really about to take it up a notch. I'm about to stop wearing long weave. I'm about to start getting 16-inch, 18-inch, maybe 20 at the most. But I'm not doing 28, 30-inch weaves no more. I don't even want to do lace fronts because I want to put myself out here in a way that I'm actually attracting what I want. I also don't want to be the boss babe. And the reason why I don't want to be the boss babe is because you attract a lot of men that expect for you to, they are okay with you making more money than them. That's number one. Oh, they're going to support your career, sis. They're going to support your business. They're going to support the fact that you want to be a boss babe because they don't mind you making more money than them. And I don't like that. So now I'm like, oh, I don't want to be the boss babe. I mean, I'll do some projects. I still want to write books and things, but I don't want to be the boss babe though. You attract the dustiest of the dustiest of the dustiest men that you can possibly find. I mean, girl, they raggedy. Leeches. You attract people that want to use you and take advantage of you. You attract the type of men that are for the feminist movement because it requires him to be less of a man. It requires him to go 50-50 on rent. It requires him to expect for you to pay half on the mortgage. So I don't do that. Again, I made it a point to make it about myself. So I had no problem making those changes to get what I wanted, to attract what I want. But some women, they struggle with this. They don't want to make the changes, but then they get mad when they continuously attract what they don't want. And I tell y'all this all the time. I'm like, You simply you could get what you want, but you simply don't want to make the changes to get what you want. And that's a you problem. That's a problem that you have within yourself. Why don't you want to make the necessary changes to attract what you want, but then sit here and complain about why you're not attracting what you want? And I'm going to tell you, as soon as I made these changes, girl, I started attracting everything that I wanted to the point where everything that I want comes easy. It ain't even hard to receive it. So when I tell you it's worth it, it is worth it. It's not a waste of your time. It's not. And I also feel like you step into your true identity as a woman when you make these changes. You step into your true identity. You find yourself when you do this. And the reason is because you're happy. You're at peace because you're finally in a position to attract at ease the things that you want. And then you realize, I like who I'm becoming. I like this woman that I am. I like how I'm attracting all the things that I want out of life. I wish I would have made these changes sooner. So I don't know what young girl or young woman or even older woman needs to hear this, but you can get what you want, but are you willing to do what's necessary? Are you willing to make the changes that are necessary for you to get what you want? That's the only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want, whatever that is.
That's the disconnect.
Mhm.
So yes, going back to your question, it's about understanding that, one, how we perceive ourselves isn't always how others perceive us. So I always encourage women, like I have a membership group and I tell them, like, listen, ask men how they see you. Don't let your girlfriends tell.
Okay, I don't know where these men are coming from. I mean, y'all coming out of the crevices on this channel. Okay, so we have a snap. I just now read the Snapchat. The super chat. It said, y'all stay complaining about thugs and bombs while turning down the good men for being short or lame. I don't know how to help y'all on this. Shrugs. Well, first of all, sir, we still have to be attracted to you. There are some tall women like myself that's not going to be attracted to a shorter man. It is what it is. And I don't know why you would take that personally. Like, we women, we're listening to a man make it very clear that there are men out here that want a woman in a certain body type. Like, the reason why he doesn't see her as marriage material because he's not attracted to her body like that. And so he can't see himself waking up next to her every morning, every day. It's the same thing in reverse. So y'all dish what y'all can't handle. And that's the thing that is so interesting to me. Y'all can dish it, but you can't take it. And I'm gonna give y'all another tip. Listen, a lot of these men that dish it, but they can't take it, horrible in bed. Horrible in bed. They are horrible in bed. They can't dish it, or they can dish it, but they can't take it. Oh God, you wasting your time. There are just some women that are just not gonna like shorter men. It does not make them a bad person. It doesn't. They're just not attracted to you. So you move on to the next. I'm gonna be real with you though. If you short, I'm gonna tell you to get your money up. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. Because women, we look past a lot of things when it comes to financial stability. We look past a lot. I'm gonna tell you to get your money up though. The only reason why you having that issue is because your pockets lack. If your pockets weren't lacking, your height, women ain't tripping about that. They not. It's because your pockets are lacking. They lacking. Some lacking. Because women look past a lot when a man can offer them financial stability. It is what it is. Just like men look past a lot, like a woman having brains, all because of a nice body. Happens every day. So I'm going to tell you, get your pockets up you could possibly get the girl of your dreams. And then you could get a girl with a nice body. I'm just being honest. So, like I said, y'all do that dishing and then you can't take it. What? Ladies, if he do that, he is not good in bed. I'm telling you, he not good in bed. You wasting your time. He dishing and he can't take it. Horrible in bed. Paid money to complain about us complaining. Thank you for the super chat. That's so funny.
Tell you, because they're going to validate things, because if they're negative too, they're not going to call you out for being negative
or recognize it.
Exactly. It's almost like, think about a morbidly obese person. They're not going to call out another morbidly obese person and say you need to lose some weight. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna validate that whole thing, because they're walking in it too. So women have to be mindful of that yes, how you're coming off is going to have a huge role in how people receive you. And the pushback I get is, well, I am feminine. When I'm in a relationship, I'm sweet, I'm submissive, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, yeah, but how would he know that?
You got to get there.
Exactly. You're not exuding that energy that lets him see that you have even that, I hate to use the word potential, but in essence, that's what it is in some cases. Or it's just you are that feminine woman. And so a lot of women think, well, he should take time to figure it out. Ain't nobody got time for that. Especially, again, this is where we're going into the type of man you want. You want some successful, well put together man. He don't have time to be surveying the situation and digging deep into every woman who catches his eye.
Twisted Integrity, I forgot to shout you out, sis. Thank you for sponsoring this live with the $49.99, sis. I do appreciate that. And I also remember our conversation that we had on live as well. I still remember you. Twisted Integrity. And also, how is your box trucks company going? I would like to know a little more about that. Hopefully it's going well.
Do you know how time consuming that is? And one of the analogies I love to use, because I even use this analogy in regards to why people should be using physical attraction as a evaluator for relationships. And I'm like, if you had Walmart hiring for cashier, paying minimum wage, and they only got 5 applicants coming to them, they got time to sit down with every applicant, dig deep, and figure out who they want to hire. If you're Google and you're hiring a position making 6-7 figures, you got thousands of people submitting their resume. You ain't got time to evaluate and interview everyone. So what do? You start to weed them out. How do companies weed them out? Well, back in the days, it was if your resume don't even look right, forget what's on it. If the paper's wrong, if the color's wrong, if the texture is bad, in the garbage. You could have been an amazing candidate. You won't make it to the next stage. So you got to understand that when you're trying to date in that pool of men, and in general, it would be beneficial to be mindful of what are you exuding that allows you to attract those kind of people and for them to see that you can be the woman that they would want to entertain.
So what are some of these feminine things? Because it's hard out here, Stephon. Listen, I'm really loving that social media has this whole like soft woman thing, like this whole soft woman movement. I am loving it because I'm tired of working hard. But most Black women were raised to believe that we had to work hard. Like if we're not working hard, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we are not independent, if we can't do it all and handle it all and be strong, then we're not doing it right. So now we're 30 plus and the men are like, yo, you too hard. And it's like, this is who I am. So what are some things that we can start to do? You know, maybe wear pink or, you know, wear some softer colors. I think we talked about that. See, I was listening. He was like, yo, you showing up in all this black. I got my man with my black on though, y'all. So we don't know about that rule. But I do remember you saying it. But what else can we do?
Every rule.
Exceptions to every rule. Those things do matter though.
Yes. But so the first step is though, stop saying this is who I am. It's not who you are. It's who you have become because you've been conditioned to believing this is what it should be. You become comfortable in your masculine energy and detached from your femininity. But the reality is that that feminine energy is still in you, which is again why when you're in.
You know, this conversation is starting to bore me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm trying to stay awake over here. But I'm like, why don't we? A thought just came across my mind, like, dang, why don't they ever talk about men not being feminine? For real, because I'm thinking, okay, I step into my femininity. I'm gonna give me a masculine man. A lot of these men, y'all, they don't know how to grill. They lazy. They don't want to work hard. You as a woman can outwork them, and you just be like, move, get out the way, I'll do it. You getting on my nerves, like you act like you don't know what you're doing. I can't stand that. How am I supposed to stay in my femininity if I'm with a feminine man? And you guys, I wish I would have got this on record. I wish I could have got this recorded. My brother confessed to me this week. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. He said that I finally see what you're talking about. I said, you see what I'm talking about? And he like, yeah. He said, these men, they lazy. I said, excuse me? He said, they just lazy. They throw stuff together. They don't see things through. They lazy. I don't even like asking them for help. Now, if anybody knows my brother, he don't ever like telling me I'm right. I said, shut up. He said, they just lazy. They don't know how to work hard. That's what he said. Now, I've been trying to encourage my brother for years to start his painting business, right? Once you stop nagging them, sis, they do it. So I gave up on it years ago. He's finally doing it. He's been in business for about 2 years now. He got a big commercial job, right? He's painting a school. His biggest job that he has gotten since he started his business. And so he thinking he can depend on these men because he started a business. They're not dependable. Ooh. And if some of these men that have businesses, y'all know a woman, when we come to the table, especially a Black woman, oh, we're thorough. We actually read. We read the fine print so you're not looking stupid later, or worse, being sued. These men today, they lazy. So why don't we have conversations about men not being so damn feminine these days? Because every time we have these conversations, it's about women being feminine, women being soft. Well, I need you to be a man. How about that? Because I'm willing to work on myself. But can you be a man though? Can you not be lazy? Can you actually be dependable? Can you be reliable? Can you at least pretend to know what you're doing? Or better yet, if you don't know, you find out, you learn. You take the time to look into it and research and maybe teach yourself. I'm tired of having these conversations about women needing to be, we got a whole soft movement. We had a whole femininity movement. We need a masculine movement, and we need that today. Fast, quick, in a hurry. Because all these feminine women, who gonna be the men? Where are the masculine men though? And like I said, if some of these men that run businesses, if they were being honest, y'all know the men, y'all know when y'all hire a male employee, they're not really where they need to be if you was to get a Black woman. You know that. You know that. You know that she's more dependable. Why is that? He's a man. He should be way more dependable than your female employee, but it's always the female employee that's more dependable than the male employee, and you know that. You know that. I wish you would try to gaslight me. So you know, they know that, to the women they know. So I don't understand why we don't have these seminars and these discussions about men stepping up and being masculine men. They don't cut grass no more. They don't know how to get on the grill and grill no more. They think being masculine is getting in the gym and adapting this red pill whatever, because it has lost its way. At first I'm like, okay, it makes sense, you know, it's more about self and like really improving yourself and things like, but now it's just about sex. It's just about getting in the gym to get the girl, getting the body to get the girl, getting the money to get the girl. And it ain't even to get the girl, it's to get the sex. And then they think that's what it means to be masculine. But then their soft ass can't handle rejection. But you're so masculine though. You can't even handle rejection. That's all I got to say. I'm just tired of these conversations. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. We started soft life. We started the femininity movement. When these men gonna start a movement outside of red pill? Because red pill is about sex. That's it. It's about sex. It's just about sex. And I'm tired of femininity being just about men. Because it's more than men. It's you as a woman truly stepping into your identity because you deserve it. If femininity is truly about you stepping out of survival mode because you deserve to be at ease and live your life and be happy and be peaceful. It's not about getting a man though. And I hate how femininity is being presented and coached in this way. I hate that, because even masculinity is not about getting a woman and doing for a woman. It's about you feeling good about yourself as a man. Like you are showing up in a world where people look at you in a high regard, like, oh, I respect you. It's not about just to sleep with the woman though. I just hate how these narrations of these conversations go, because femininity is so much more than a man. And if it was just about a man, I wouldn't be tapping into it. I'm just being honest. I got more things to do with my time, because the world just don't revolve around men who just want to fuck you because they find you attractive. And I need to be feminine enough so he can do that. I got better things to do with my time. So I make femininity about me, what I want. And it's not to be betted so easily. And then afterwards, not being taken care of or seen as valuable. So I'm not tapping into my femininity just to be betted. Y'all know that this is what this conversation has been about this whole time. They want you to step into your femininity, be a doormat, be so soft to the point where you are just so open and you just allow men to just come in and bed you with no real expectations. Because how you going to start off this conversation? I'm being real, y'all. How you going to start off this conversation about men can have sex with you and not really not respect you, not like you, not be into you, and then talk about femininity? This is how you get a man. I don't want one. Like, what? Am I crazy? Am I losing it here? It don't make sense. So you want me to step into my soft life energy, my femininity, just to get used for some sex?
In a relationship, or when you're emotionally vulnerable, it comes out.
Yeah.
Or even better, some of these same women who are so hard, put them around kids and they're joyful, they're sweet or whatever. Put them around a man, they shut the whole thing down. No more feminine energy. So the reality is that it's not that you're not feminine.
Okay.
It's that you don't view the child as a threat.
Right.
All right. You view men as a threat. And because of that, you become defensive around men, but you're not guarded around children. That same energy that you give kids, give that to a man, see what happens. I remember one time I had a client. So I think she came to an event and I had that whole speech about feminine energy, and she came to me afterward and she said, you know, she was dating this guy. Her son, who was like 22 in college, comes home for the weekend. And she said the whole weekend she's serving him, calling, baby, what you need, boom, boom, boom. The child leaves, go back to school.
Girl, I'm at a point in my life where I don't even think a lot of these masculine men are in love with other masculine men. Maybe it's not that they masculine. Maybe it's because these other men that portray themselves to be so masculine are really feminine, and that's why masculine men are attracted to other men. That's what I think. That's why we see so many men going to other men. It's because they have the same energy that we have. And lots of it. They got a lot of that energy. They got a lot of that energy. That's why they start looking at their homeboy different. So my mind changing on that one. I don't think they attracted to other masculine men. I think they're just way more feminine men among us who try to portray like they're masculine, but they really not. That's why I think they be into them, because I'm like, And then they continue to have this tired conversation about women being feminine. And it's just like, I don't know how much more feminine I can be in a society where I still got to pay bills, though. I don't. Like, you want me to be a listener? Got it. You don't want me to overtalk you? Got it. You want me to not be in this energy of where you feel like I got to control or dominate everything, even conversations? Got it. But what about you? What you doing for me, though, in a way that makes me feel safe, secure, where I don't have to be in survival mode? What you doing for me, though? Can we have a conversation about what men are doing to where women can really be in their femininity and feel safe? And where they feel like they don't have to take control and be in control? Where we can be in a space with a man where he is actually dependable. He ain't out here abandoning me because I fall pregnant. Could we have some conversations about that? I just need more balance to these conversations. It's the same narration, and I'm tired of listening to this stuff. Like, I really am. There is no growth with these conversations. It's the same thing. It's like turning on a tape recorder. Same questions, same narration, same formula. Can we get something new? I'm an Aries. I don't like repetitiveness, and this is repetitive. I'm like, dang, can we talk about how men are being more masculine and how they plan on going about that? For real, we done heard this before. We women, Black women particularly, we done heard it before. We hear y'all. Let's talk about something new. God, and then this started off wrong. So you want us to step into our femininity just so we can get bedded? No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to have sex with you. It's not an equal exchange. It's just not, unless you pulling out your wallet. It's not an equal exchange. And the reason it's not an equal exchange is because sex just really lacks with men. Like, it does. I'm just being honest. Y'all don't want to take the time to learn our body. There's few in between men out here that actually take the time to learn your body in a way to where a woman truly equally benefits from a sexual exchange. And that's what men not understanding. Y'all get offended when a toy is brought in the room. Why are you offended by a toy? You want to make it an equal exchange? Then you learn how and every woman is different. You learn how a woman's body actually orgasms, and every woman is going to be different. If you really want it to be a fair, equal exchange. Otherwise, it's not fair and it's not equal. It's you getting your nut off and you going about your day, and then she getting up feeling like she just got used and wasted her time. And then you want it to be cheap. You didn't want to take her out to dinner. You didn't want to do nothing outside of the bedroom for her. So there really wasn't no equal exchange. It's just annoying. So I'm just telling y'all now, Black women, they want you to step into your femininity just so you can have raw poom with a man that don't even like you like that. He don't see a future with you at all. That's why he wants you to step into your femininity.
The boyfriend looks at her and say, why you never talk to me like that? You talk to him with all this great, I don't ever get none of that. And that's when she realized, damn, I'm really I'm that energy. You have it. You just have issues stopping you from giving it to the man.
Even Spirit, like, yeah, please change 444 on the clock. Please change, please. Can we please grow from these conversations, Black people? I really want to release us from these shackles. Like, it's the same conversation. I'm like, I'm tired. Even Spirit came through and said, 444 on the clock, please make some changes. We desperately need it. On that note, y'all, I do feel like you should step into your femininity, though. But do it for yourself. Do it because you truly deserve to be at ease. But don't do it so a man can bed you. Do it for yourself. Please, because you deserve that. Black women, you really do deserve that, though. And I just want you to know that you really do deserve to step into your femininity. You deserve to be at ease. You deserve to be in more of your light side. You do. You do. You do. But around these men, I'm going to tell you to be in your dark femininity. And the reason is because a lot of these men nowadays, they come with games. They like to manipulate. They like to have raw sex with you, knowing damn well they don't see a future with you. They don't want to be with you, but then they put you in a position where you can get pregnant. So I'm going to tell you, for you, work on your femininity. But when you around these men and you dealing with these men and you engaging and encountering with these men, I'm going to tell you to be in your dark femininity. Because you gotta watch and observe. Be a good listener. Because like I said, men will talk their way right out of your panties unknowingly. But I'm not going to tell you to trust men so easily. I'm not. Please give this video a thumbs up. Protect your energy. Don't just allow any and everybody in your energy. I want you guys to pay attention to this one key thing. And this is how I really was able to just eliminate drama out of my life. Pay attention to who you got in your energy when your life is chaos. Then pay attention to your energy in your life when you are at ease and you're at peace, and who's in your energy. You need to make that connection. You need to identify and see that clearly. Because when you invite one person into your life, automatically you know who's causing that drama that just popped up out of nowhere. Because you know when you are in your own energy, you know, oh, okay, this person came in, they brought the drama. When this person wasn't in my life, I didn't have this much drama. So be mindful. Be mindful of when you have certain people in your energy, how your life is. And then when you remove people out of your energy, how your life is, because that is going to tell you everything that you need to know about people that you got around you. The hardest lesson I just learned, and I started cleaning and clearing my energy. And I swear to y'all, as soon as I did it, the drama was gone. It was like taking the trash out. On that note, you guys enjoy the rest of y'all's day. And I will see you guys. Dark femininity took the black man out the house. Y'all are a mess. Give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Also, if you want me to react to something, please send it to my Instagram DMs. I would really appreciate it. Bye, guys.